Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Larry, and today we're going to talk about politics and retirement. It's kind of a touchy subject with most people. Uh, I just noticed as I was setting up my camera, I've got some couple spots on my shirt that my wife will let me know about. Uh, Must have been from when I just chugged down a protein drink right before I came over here. So anyway, in my opinion, all politics is just dirty. They're dirty. I don't care what side you're on. They're dirty. And here's a good example of it. I live in an area where there was a local race just a few years ago, and I happen to be friends with both sides. I happen to be friends with both of these people, and I talked to them on a regular basis, and they were both telling me lies and dirty things about the other person, and they know I'm friends with them, and it's just dirty. And that's on the local level. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what it's like on a state level? Can you imagine what it's like on a national level? It's just dirty. That's the bottom line, in my opinion. It's dirty. You got to take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Now, I do watch both sides. I do watch both sides. I turn on Fox News for about 15 minutes in the morning just so I know what's going on in the world. And I do turn on CNN at the top of the hour, the next hour, just to see their take on the things that's going on in the world. They're both looking at the same thing, but you're getting two totally different opinions on it. And it's kind of like looking at a sunset. Boy, one person will say, that's a beautiful sunset. And the next person will look at stand right next to them, will look at the same sunset. Oh, that's ugly, man. Look at the colors. That's not very pretty. You know, it's just a matter of opinion. These things are totally out of my control, but I think it's important that we keep up with certain things in retirement. Because some things impact us, like Social Security and Medicare. Uh, they're changing these things all the time. They're not big changes usually, but they're minor changes. And they may affect our life. They may affect your life. They may affect my life. I don't recommend hardly anybody on my channel, but there is one channel that answered a lot of my questions and some of the things I thought about, and that's called The Medicare Family. The Medicare Family. One word. She does a lot of shorts, answers a lot of questions about Social Security, uh, survivors benefits, different types of Medicare plans. She's a uh, she's a very flamboyant woman. She's probably 60 or so, and she wears these funky hats. But she's easy to listen to, easy to watch. But I really enjoy the shorts. Another thing we have to pay attention to is they're always changing the tax law, and that includes Social Security. Um, how's it going to be taxed? I've never had to worry about it, concerned about it since I've retired, because that's basically my only income. But there's lots of laws, and we need to familiarize ourselves with these laws and the rules, and how much can I make and not be charged on Social Security? How much do it? Lots of questions, but we need to keep up with these things. We also need to keep up with any cuts to any kind of senior programs there are. There's lots of senior programs out there that we can take advantage of and do take advantage of, and we should. We've earned that right. But there's changes in these things all the time. We can keep up with the changes in these things without too much of a problem. And then there's just the stress. You know, most of you are my age or thereabouts, and I can remember when politicians would argue. They would argue, but they wouldn't fight blatantly and openly like they do now. It just really bothers me. The hate just flowing from both sides, actually. Now, I have friends on both sides. When did it become a thing to hate the other person based on their political beliefs? I have friends on both sides. We don't hate each other. Well, I don't hate them. They may hate me. I'm not sure. But we rarely discuss politics. It's way, way, way down on the scale of things that's important in our life. I don't know if you've noticed, but our life is kind of shrinking as we get older. We lose a lot of friends. There's no sense hating someone just because they feel differently. There's differences of opinion within my own family, within my own kids, and we all get along, pretty much. I mean, there are some differences. There are some subjects we just kind of stay away from, and that's fine. We got the important things down. As I've said before, I meet with a men's group at church early on Sunday morning, like 7:30. We sit there and drink coffee and discuss different things. One of the rules, This is Larry's rule. We don't talk politics in church. Period. Period. And I can tell. There's one older gentleman, much older than me, probably 15 years older than me. He always wants to bring it up as a prayer request or something to keep an eye on. And he doesn't exactly say political, but you can tell he sits there and watches Fox News all day. I said, nope, 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 nope. No politics here. I love you, brother, but no politics here. And everybody agrees to it. Because there are differences just within that group. There are differences. And there's no sense alienating anybody just because of a difference of political opinion. Social media is a big thing. I have friends on both sides. One person, I think she spends half her day getting all the current news on one side, and she basically reports slanted towards her views. But there's another person I follow on social media that just hate, just pure, unadulterated hate. And I don't know any other way to describe it. And it's not hurting anybody except her. It's not hurting anybody except her. And her life reflects that also. And I know some of you say, well, why don't you just unfollow her? And I would, but she's close to me. So I need to keep up with what's going on in her life in case I can ever be of assistance to her. But you'll never change anybody's opinion on social media. But what you can do is lose some friends over it. I mean, there are some people that take this stuff very serious. If I told the one person that just is putting out a lot of hate, if I told her exactly how I felt, now she knows my views, but if she told me exactly how I felt, if I told her exactly how I felt, she probably wouldn't even speak to me. In fact, she didn't speak to us once for a period of a few months because she was upset with us. Our world is shrinking, guys. We don't need to add fuel to the fire. You've never changed anyone's opinion on Facebook or Instagram by blurting something out about somebody, to argue about something, to argue about some policy. We have no control over this stuff. My wife has probably the best attitude. I kind of keep her informed on what's going on because she doesn't watch the news. I watch the local news sometimes, but she doesn't watch the news, and I kind of keep her informed just so she's not totally ignorant about what's going on. But we live in a world that's changing rapidly. The politics of it, we really have little or no control over. But we do need to keep up with things that may impact our life. And that's all I've got for now. If you've got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe. And until we meet again, I'm going to continue to press on towards that goal.